Hello, Internet. Gino, that Pinguino Grieco here again with another episode of Deep Listens. This is yet another special deep interview for the Giant Bomb Community Endurance Run, which runs from August 15th to 17th, and we are raising money for Pencils of Promise, a charity that builds schools, trains teachers, and sends kids to school in developing nations. You can check that out on giantbomb.com. There's on the front page. There's a little link on the bottom. It says Community Endurance Run. It's real cool. It's like a bomb, but it's a disco ball. And today I am talking to Chris ZombiePie Redacted because this is your first Giant Bomb Community Endurance Run, and you're a lunatic that people know.
I'm not a lunatic. You're slandering my good name. I could sue you for libel, as our good, wonderful future president of the United States would support. Donald Trump.
We're not. Nope.
No politics on this podcast?
Not going there. Nope.
No, not going there. Okay, yeah, this is as a participant.
Yep.
I think this counts as my first active participation in a community live stream event.
Although I believe the first time we met was over the Community Endurance Run.
Me dicking around in a PM, one-on-one PM, and then your chat room for your playthrough of Final Fantasy IX.
Yes. So this started the whole odyssey of you playing a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, which was an experience and ordeal that apparently I'm now having to subject myself to again.
And again and again and again. So the thing that you're doing...
Oh, man.
The thing that you're doing...
There are multiple possibilities. Yeah, okay.
I think here's plan A. I think it's the best plan. You were given... Well, I guess I should start like we do with most of these interviews.
Oh, God. There's a lot of backstory to why I was given all this garbage and who gave it to me.
Let's try and stay with the structure I've done for the other deep interviews because it's mostly to get people to know who's streaming. And then we can go to the mania. So how did you come to know about the Giant Bomb Community Endurance Run in the first place?
I played an active role in promoting it and advertising it on both Twitter and the Community Spotlight as a pretty much de facto community promoter for Giant Bomb in general. I create the community spotlights as well as manage the community promotional Twitter account, Giant Bomb Duders Feeder, which was originally named at the time Giant Bomb Squad. And I think I approached you and asked you basically how you wanted to advertise the endurance run, but it also could have been you approaching me. Because, surprise, surprise, Giant Bomb is fairly successful in terms of raising money for charities, especially those that involve live streaming and viewing and donating whilst watching live streams. I think we've done very successful with Extra Life. I think last year Rory pretty much on the drop of a hat organized his own event for Operation Supply Drop, which was, I hear, a hard thing to do, but he managed to pull it off. And we also had the Community Endurance Run. So either way, I promoted and played an active role in promoting your live stream for Final Fantasy IX, and then I started asking questions about Final Fantasy.
Yes, you did. I remember. Unfortunately, the footage is lost to history, but you were in the IRC chat.
I was.
Very basic questions about Final Fantasy, which
you were flabbergasted about, I am a moderator of a video game website and had been for about 3 years.
Yeah.
I was asking, like, what's a mage? What's an overworld? When did they stop using overworlds? Who's the bad guy? And then I started asking, like, I started revealing more and more information about my naivete related to Square Enix in general and Final Fantasy. And I think you didn't know how to react, and then other people in the IRC started to express a level of displeasure. They thought I was joking, and they were just... I was asking the wrong people certain questions. I believe at some point I was asking the guy who was running Metal Gear Solid Revengeance. I forget who that was. I was asking him, what's the history of overworlds in JRPGs? And it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm the one you want for that question. Probably not. I think that might have been Amlabella.
I think it was.
Actually, no. Last year was the Suikoden year, so it's all blurring together now. But yeah, that's probably not the person you want for that question. But I mean, this is going to be a good year for you to answer some of those questions for yourself.
Oh, God.
Because you had a magical Christmas.
I had a very devastating Christmas. Not only did Steam have the whole account mishap where you could see people's credit card information and email accounts, I was gifted every single possible Final Fantasy game available on Steam that is currently available for purchase right now, other than a few, which we can talk about because I don't know if I need to purchase them or not before we do this live stream.
So, what I was thinking was you've got this treasure trove of games. What
Indeed.
if you took those and, say, in a ranking of fighters-esque way, played each of them for enough time such as to give it a grade? And then
I said,
next game.
That sounds like the worst idea ever. That is going to kill me. And then you kept saying, how about you keep playing? What if you played every single Final Fantasy game you own for like an hour? And then you kept saying it over and over again. And I was like, can I just play Final Fantasy VIII and then show people what it was like for me to play Final Fantasy VIII? And you're like, no, this is way better. And then, like, there was the possibility of me playing just 9 or 10. And then you kept, whenever those dreams and aspirations kind of fell to the wayside, you were like, the plan A is still you playing all of those Final Fantasy games. It was like, I think at that point it sunk in, and I realized I'm going to have to play all of these games, at least an hour each.
Yes. That's why we're having this podcast, because listener feedback is important. People are going to be listening to this, and I think that it's a cool way to potentially be a donation incentive or just to drum up some support. We've outlined a few options here.
Uh-huh.
You could play one of any of the available PC Final Fantasy games.
With my preference being 8.
With your preference being 8, because you're a lunatic.
I could play all of the games.
8 is the devil you know.
Mm-hmm. I could play all of the games for about 1 hour each.
With a whiteboard.
And would rank them, saying, this is number 1, this is number 2. Then there was, like, whether or not 9 would be released before this. Although I think at this point we can rule out 9 being released in time for this event.
Don't you say that.
I think we have to call it. It still says early 2016.
I've been checking every day for 4 months.
We are pretty much through quarter 1 of 2016.
It's coming.
It's not gonna happen. Quarter 1 is done.
With an attitude like that, it won't.
I could play it on. I think those are really the only 2 options, because I think with Final Fantasy IX having to take a knee until further notice, it's literally, I let the community decide if I should play one of these games for a very long time or if I'm going to play each of them for an hour.
Yeah, and I just want to say, let's just say, if you donate, you can go on the front page. You can go on Giant Bomb, go to the front page. There is a little link to the Community Endurance Run, and on there's a link to donate now.
Mm-hmm.
If you donate any amount of money, you get a vote.
Oh, okay.
If you just comment, you also have a vote. But let's be honest, the votes with money have a little bit more say.
Yeah. Pick my fate.
I'm going to say a minimum of $1.
You're going to pick how are you going to kill me slowly?
Exactly. And I want to remind you, he has all of the 13s. He has 11, and we have people ready, willing, and able to play Final Fantasy 11.
All right, so let's literally go through the Final Fantasies and
That
say
you
check, check, or no check. Okay.
Okay. So 1.
No, I don't have 1.
2.
It's no.
3.
Which 3?
The 3DS version.
Yes,
PC
I have
version.
Final Fantasy 3, but it's the port of the 3DS version.
Yes. 4.
Yes, 3DS version again.
5.
iOS port, yes.
6.
Another iOS port, but yes.
7.
PC version of 7, correct.
8.
You bet your ass I have 8.
9.
Not currently available for personal consumption.
Damn it. You don't even have it on your phone?
I'm buying one version of this game.
Fair enough. 10.
Not available for anything that I have currently.
10-2.
Although the rumors of 10 and 10.2 being released on PC or Steam continue to grow. No.
11.
Yes.
12.
Nope.
13.
Yes.
13-2.
Yes.
13-3.
13. Lightning Returns.
Yes.
Final Fantasy 13. Yes.
14.
I have this trial demo ready to be downloaded and ready to go, but no. Okay, we need to make a judgment call here. Final Fantasy Type 0 HD and Final Fantasy 4 The After Years. Do those count, and do I need to buy those?
We'll see what the donations say.
Fuck. Can we scratch out The After Years?
Well, I don't know. Maybe the after years are really important.
Fuck. I should have bought them when they were like half off, or there was the Square Enix sale.
Well, at the very least, the community's not monsters. They know that that's not, like, a good game. You're probably fine.
Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Final Fantasy games. So that's at least 9 hours of my life.
Dude, I played just 9 for 14 hours.
Yeah, but you didn't play 13 and 13-2 for an hour.
I've played 13 for 20 hours.
Okay, so we have to make a judgment call here. When you say an hour, is it an hour of gameplay, or is it just an hour in the game? Because if I do an hour of 13, it's maybe going to be one cutscene and then 15 minutes of gameplay.
I'm going to say it's an hour of real time, not game time.
Okay.
Because I have a soul and a heart, and I'm merciful.
We could also leave this to the viewers, and they could kill me even slower.
That's true. I just want to clarify, you've told me something in private about how you want to die, that I feel
would like
it adds context.
I want to be the first person to die watching bad anime garbage. I want to be the guy who's watching a really scuzzy garbage anime, and I want my heart to just give out like, fuck, and then I die.
So Final Fantasy counts, right?
I'm under the impression it does.
You know it does. You played Final Fantasy VIII. So, I got
all these games. I got all of these games. And you know what's the worst part? The worst part is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this has been pissing me off. 7, 8, 11, 13, 13, 2. Do you know which one game I own that's not there? Final Fantasy Lightning Returns, because Lightning Returns is in the front of the title, and I have to move this thing around in order to create a very easy to navigate Square doesn't know how to create titles. These people are crazy people.
I'm sorry. Well, so, listeners, the community endurance run is on the way, and ZombiePie needs your help. We need to find out what is more appealing to you. Is it him playing all of the Final Fantasies for an hour to determine the one true king to rule them all? It's Final Fantasy 8. 8's the one.
No, it's not. You're lying. I'm the only person in my friends list that has a copy of Final Fantasy V.
I have 2 copies
11.
of Final Fantasy 5.
Oh, and 11. It's a really wonderful thing to have games on Steam, and you're the only person who owns those in your friends list.
It's a good sign. It's a sign of quality.
It's a sign of people wasted their money and set the wrong message to Square that these garbage iOS ports should be supported.
We'll find out if they're garbage.
Okay.
Hopefully.
So,
your donation will say.
Okay. Give me your best prediction. Which one do you think I'm going to warm up to as I play it, and which one do you think is going to crush my soul the most? As a Final Fantasy aficionado, which one am I going to say, man, I never want to play this again? And which one do you think I'm going to be like, I can imagine playing this over the course of 5 months?
Okay, I think 5 and 6 are the ones you'll probably warm up to the most, because they have a charm to them. Though I don't know if the graphics are just so heinous on those iOS ports.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think it looks great, but I think some of the people who are saying that the art style is like an abomination are kind of overreacting.
Those are people who have been playing that game since they were little, and any change is an affront. So, that's fine. I think that those games, depending on which translation they use for 5, it could either be very funny or very middle of the road. And 6 is just a good game. It's just a great game. 5 is also great. It's just mechanically great, not necessarily story great. The villain of that game is amazing. I think you're gonna hate 3. I think 3 and 4. They are the oldest, schoolest of the Final Fantasy games, and they have the least going on. 3 has like nothing going on story wise. And 4, it has stuff going on story-wise, but it's just such a grind fest that it can be a little boring. And I think you're going to like 11 because there are cat girls in it. You can be the cat girl. And I think 7's not going to be very fun. Like,
apparently the PC version of 7's not the one you want to have. Apparently there's a texture mod to make that game not junk.
Nothing will make it not junk. It's visually terrible. But the 13 series is just super boring.
Am I going to get to the transphobic scene in an hour? Because I'm not excited about that.
Probably not.
Okay, thank God.
You'd have to play pretty fast to get there.
Okay.
You might brush up against it. But yeah.
Great.
So as a person who has been a community endurance run viewer, what do you think of the event? Like, what would you say to other people who might be thinking about viewing this year?
Play games you love. Don't play games that people put you into a suicide blood pact at the last minute that you can't back out of because you have honor. Play the games you love.
Okay, first of all, you've known about this for a while. This isn't last minute. 2, the question was not about your health. It was about your enjoyment of the event as a spectator. What would you say to people who haven't watched before?
It's a good, fun time with a bunch of people who really love video games and want to do a good thing for a just cause. Donate now because it will lead to good things for the future of this fair country as well as the future of people all over the world. And plus, you'll be a part of a wonderful community that loves to interact with new and enjoyable faces.
Great. That's perfect. You nailed it.
I want to die.
No, you don't.
I don't. But
Pencils of Promise raises money for kids.
I have like too many games, and I'm not playing any of them. And now I'm gonna play all these Final Fantasy games.
So what you're saying is you need to wean yourself into it first, so you don't like have a horrible experience. It's from no games to all the games. If it makes you feel better, I can tell you about some of the messed up stuff that I'm having one of my friends do. Will that help?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Keep going.
Sell me on it.
Sell me on it.
So, Billy, if you're listening to this, don't stop listening right here. Okay. So I'm going to have two people blindfolded, and then I'm going to have them play competitive fighting games, but they're not going to, or competitive games, and they're not going to know what they are until the blindfolds come off. And they could be from various systems across different generations. That's going to be fun. I bought this game, Creatures. Their lives are in your hand, and I want one of my friends who is very grind-focused to sit in a room, and whenever people donate, it adds time to the amount of time he has to play Creatures. I also have a suit.
Okay, yes?
For game show purposes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have visual novel games that are filled to the brim with wonderful stories to tell and share to the world.
Okay, let me put you... At the end of this, if everything goes well, you can totally play some Nekopara or something. You can enjoy. This is a safe place. You could totally
Nekopara is not a safe game to play for the raising of money for kids.
That's true. You could play like a thing. Well, if you look at the schedule right now, we've already got some stuff that's probably sketchy. Like we've got Blizzard is playing Mahjong Pretty Girls Battle Schoolgirls Edition.
I want that game.
And he's also playing... What was the other one? Magical Date EX. So you wouldn't even be playing the most obscure Japanese game.
But I'd be playing the game that is of...
Oh no. Are you
disrepute.
Are you somehow getting the Nekopara discussion you've been lobbying me to have on the podcast?
I am. Slowly but surely.
No.
Yeah.
Nope. Hard pass. Nope.
Oh, man.
You can play...
Such a good conversation to have. We need to have...
No, you tricked me. You want to talk about trickery? You tricked me into playing that whole damn thing.
I did, and you have such strong opinions. They're opinions worth sharing to the world.
They're opinions everyone knows. If you know what that game is, you know my opinion of it. And it looks like the schedule says Sunday's really open, so maybe if you do a good job, Sunday you could like treat yourself to 0% orange juice or whatever the hell that is. 100%?
100% orange juice, but I'm garbage at that game.
Or Go-Go Nippon or whatever?
Go-Go Nippon would actually be a wonderful thing to do on Sunday.
So there you go. We're making plans right here.
So, kids, you still have time to do pre-donations for this wonderful event. Those donations are always open. When's the cutoff again? When you can no longer donate to this wonderful cause?
I believe it's going to be a couple days after the 17th, April 17th, okay. Because, sometimes donations come in a little late.
Yeah. So,
But
get
we're
the details.
Trying to raise $4,000 this year. We are upping the total by $1,000 from last year. So we're hoping to send 4 more kids to school for a year. That's a good cause.
Yes, it is. And more importantly, you're going to have wonderful schadenfreude for your visual entertainment.
Yes. And just a reminder, go ahead and donate. Go ahead on the page, the Community Endurance Run page, hit the donate button, and then you can donate to tell Zombie. You can donate for lovely prizes, Or you could donate to make ZombiePie play all the Final Fantasies instead of just one. I said $1. I'd prefer like $5. You could probably swing $5. But I'll accept, like, you know, any amount is better than nothing. But I think $5 is probably fair for someone to experience such amazing joy. So
I'm probably going to enjoy 6. I will most likely enjoy 5.
Yes.
4 and 3 are going to be tough.
3 is going to be the toughest of all the games on this list, probably. I mean, it's
7's going to be Chocobo Racers for the entire stream.
You're not going to get to the Chocobo racing. I'm sorry.
Ah! Why do you have to crush my dreams, Gino?
I'm sorry. You're not going to get to the Chocobo racing. It's further into the game than that.
If we reach a certain amount of money, will I have to play these games even more?
We'll find out. I mean, hey, we'll take suggestions. If you want to send in a bunch of money, I should just throw into the donation incentives.
Oh, yeah. Dude, we forgot to, like, what are my opportunities to do donation incentives?
Every game.
Every game, but
you can name characters in all of them.
Oh, I can name characters in every single game? I'm allowed... Okay.
Except Lightning Returns.
Yeah, well, Lightning has to be Lightning. Huh.
Or all the Lightning games.
Is there any other opportunities? Like, what are you guys doing for your extra stuff?
So we have, for Crystal Chronicles, the names of the characters and the names of the town. We have, in the past, for Final Fantasy, I've done, like, beating particular bosses or extra or winning in a specific way. We also have a couple other donation incentives, like Vash 10 will buy a Steel Battalion and play it next year if we raise over $3,000. And Nicky Rooney is going to be playing Spelunky with his feet, if we raise over $2,000. Yeah, he's really good at video games. But yeah, those are some of the examples. For the Final Fantasy games, you could really do it to your heart's content. Like last year, one of my friends just started speaking in the Bastion announcer voice, and that raised a bunch of money. It's really whatever your imagination decides.
Yeah, you're right. Well, let's see what wonderful sense of imagination the community has.
All right. So thank you, ZombiePie, Chris ZombiePie Redacted.
I'm going to die.
No, you're not. It'll be fine. The Community Endurance Run is running from April 15th to 17th. It's your first one. You're going to love it so much.
I'm going to love it so much. And then I have this wonderful act to follow in further entries in the Community Endurance Run. It's all downhill after this.
I don't know. I thought it was downhill after Final Fantasy VIII, but then I did 9. You just got to keep it up. Just got to grind.
I need to learn how to play a traditional Japanese role-playing game. I just realized that. These games are not going to be like 8. No. I have to learn everything that I didn't have to worry about learning when I played 8.
Yeah, you're going to have to learn how, like, elements work and options other than attack. And you're going to run into random battles.
Oh, no.
There are these things called random battles that happen on the world map. It's scary out there.
Don't they happen, like, one after another?
All the time.
Another?
Just all the time.
After another?
That's why 3 and 4 are going to be so rough. The encounter rates are very high.
Can I mod my games? Is that off limits?
I'm going to say yes. Because you could barely deal with the Roses and Wine mod. I shudder to think what you would do to your machine if you had to mod any of the other games.
Yeah. That's actually a good point.
Yeah. Just don't do it. So, thank you, Chris ZombiePie Redacted.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. Well, displeasure, but also pleasure.
The community endurance run is right around the corner. It's going to be so much fun. In all seriousness, it's going to be great.
It's going to be good. It's going to be a good, fun time. I know I joke around a lot, but I'm probably going to enjoy it. It'll be nice to play Final Fantasy games not for 80 hours and just get a brief exposure to them. Although I doubt how scientific I'll be able to do my studies, considering that 1 hour is probably not enough time to really judge these games.
Yeah, just like ranking of fighters does the exact appropriate amount of time.
To figure out the mechanics and characters. I think for most of these games, I'm not even going to see the entire cast.
No. You're going to see like maybe half if you're lucky for most of these games. Probably like 3 characters for most of them. It'll be fine. It'll be fun. Or you'll play one of them to completion, or near completion, or for a bunch of time. Depends on how people donate. So you should go out there, start donating, get ready. The community endurance run is rapidly approaching. It's so close. I need to play so much Mass Effect. So, till next time, thank you for listening.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Peace!